To ensure you don't miss a second of the drama unfolding in my office, please hit the like button and subscribe before I begin this insane narrative. My name is Samantha Wheeler. I'll set the scenario now. As a 35-year-old marketing executive in the center of Norfolk, I'm enjoying my best, or perhaps busiest, life. Pitch meetings, late office hours, and excessive coffee consumption occupy my days. Looking at the clock, my colleague Abigail adds, "Samantha, if you keep this up, you're going to burn out." She observes me as I wrap up another presentation for a significant customer. I give a shrug. I'm unable to stop it. I'm getting really annoyed with the Hendrick account. Abigail smiles. "Speaking of crazy, where's that trail mix you always keep in your drawer?" I stop when I see that my snack drawer is once again suspiciously empty. I scowl. "Gone." "I promise I'm not going crazy, Abigail. My snacks have been stolen by someone." Abigail laughs. She says, "I'll bet you $5 it's Austin," and gestures to the desk next to mine. Austin Swift, the charmer in the office. He's the guy who could definitely sell ice to an Eskimo because of how smooth his smile is. Unfortunately, that smile belies who he really is. Did you actually see him near my desk? I narrow my eyes and inquire. Come on, but not precisely. He constantly takes advantage of others. Why not your snacks as well, whether it's their concepts, their labor, or even their food? Abigail reclines, obviously amused by the idea. I touch my temples and moan. I cannot simply accuse him without evidence. HR would be ecstatic. Abigail says, "Then get proof," her mischievous eyes gleaming. My phone buzzes before I can reply. It's Gloria, my sister. "Samantha, an urgent matter." The florist simply canceled. Gloria's voice reverberates over the phone in panic. I moan. On top of everything else, I needed wedding drama. "Gloria, take a big breath." I try to reassure her by saying, "We'll work it out." I sag back in my chair after hanging up. My list of things to do has grown significantly. Austin appears out of nowhere, wearing the same arrogant smile. Ladies working hard or hardly working. He makes a joke. I can't bring myself to roll my eyes. "What do you need, Austin?" "I was just curious whether you have those Morton account forecasts. The team will gather in 10 minutes. It makes my blood boil. He obviously put off his portion of the task, and those were my projections. But I don't lose my temper. "Yes, Austin." I grit my teeth and say, "I'll email them over." Abigail approaches close to him as he leaves, whispering, "See, complete freeloader." I sigh once again. It's always something, isn't office life? There is never a dull moment, whether it is due to coworkers like Austin, snack thieves, or the craziness of a wedding. I nod as a thought begins to take shape. Meetings, last-minute chores, and extinguishing fires occupy the remainder of the day, which goes by quickly. As I'm getting ready to leave, I notice Austin standing close to my desk, his gaze straying to my drawer. "Good night, Samantha." "Don't put in too much effort," he replies innocently, giving me his trademark smile. I try to grin politely. "Night, Austin." I turn to Abigail as soon as he leaves. Okay, Operation Snack Thief is officially on. Abigail's expression brightens. At last, let's get this done. We begin preparing the trap. As we work, I experience a mixture of anxiety and enthusiasm. This was about principle, not just apprehending a snack thief. I am aware that this is the beginning of a confrontation at work that will alter everything. I arrive at work the following morning with a strategy in place. I concealed a fictitious lottery ticket in my lunch bag as my covert weapon. This would entice Austin if he was indeed the snack thief. "Good morning, Samantha." I raise an eyebrow as I walk by Abigail's desk, and she remarks, "You look awfully cheerful today." "Oh, you understand. Just feeling lucky." I wink and palm my bag in response. I take a seat at my desk and make sure my hidden camera pen is in the right place. The scene is prepared. It doesn't take Austin long to initiate contact. He walks over with his typical self-assured smile on his face, coffee in hand. "Hey, Samantha, got any of those amazing homemade cookies today?" he inquires. I play along, grinning. "I'm afraid not today, Austin. However, I do have a really fantastic lunch planned." Although he appears somewhat disheartened, I can see a gleam in his eye. Sinker, line, and hook. I watch my job with one eye in my bag, with the other as the morning wears on. Any minute now. My phone buzzes all of a sudden. It's my boss, Amber. "Samantha, can you come to my office now?" My heart beats faster. What might this have to do with? I inhale deeply before going over. Amber is seated behind her desk, wearing her typical harsh look. This is a severe matter. Her words, "Close the door, Samantha." With sweaty palms, I take a seat. "What's going on, Amber?" "We're looking at promoting someone to lead the new digital marketing division," she says. "Your name is on the list." I nearly choke. "Really? That is amazing." Amber holds up a hand. "Don't celebrate just yet. Austin is also being considered." "Of course he is." I bite my tongue to stop a groan from escaping. "The decision will be based on your performance over the next few weeks." "Keep this between us," Amber says firmly. I nod, my mind racing. Great. Now I have to catch a snack thief and outperform Austin for a promotion. Got it. The game was officially on. I nod, my mind racing as I leave Amber's office. This promotion just became even more important. Walking back to my desk, I spot Austin lingering nearby, pretending to look busy. It's time to set my plan in motion. Grabbing my phone, I put on my best urgent call act. "Hello, yes, this is Samantha Wheeler." "Oh no, really?" "Okay, I'll be right there." I rush out of the office, leaving my lunch bag in plain sight on my desk. From a corner of the hallway, I watch Austin glance around nervously. He casually strolls over to my desk, acting like he's just passing by. Then he starts rummaging through my bag. My heart pounds as I hold my breath. Suddenly, his eyes widen. Bingo, he's found the fake lottery ticket. Trying to be discreet, he pockets it quickly and walks away, looking around to make sure no one saw him. I smile to myself. The bait worked perfectly. I return to my desk, pretending nothing happened. Abigail catches my eye and leans over, whispering, "Did it work?" I nod, grinning. Like a charm. The rest of the day, I keep a close eye on Austin. He's acting jittery, constantly checking his phone during our afternoon team meeting. His distracted behavior is impossible to miss. Earth to Austin, Geraldo, our colleague, jokes. "What's up? You win the lottery or something?" Austin laughs nervously, his face turning red. "What? No. Just thinking about a big account." "Yeah, I'm right, I think, hiding a smirk behind my notebook. He's not fooling anyone. Well, not me at least." As the day wears on, office gossip starts to swirl. Marilyn from accounting rushes over to my desk, looking panicked. "Did you hear?" she whispers. "They're saying Wheeler's account is pulling out. There might be layoffs." My stomach sinks. Wheeler's account is one of our biggest clients. If the rumors are true, the stakes for this promotion just got a lot higher. "Are you sure?" I ask, trying to keep calm. "That's a massive account." Marilyn nods grimly. "Straight from finance. Things are about to get messy." As I finish up my work and pack my things, Austin approaches. He's practically buzzing with excitement, trying to act casual but failing miserably. "Hey, Samantha," he says with a grin. "Crazy day, huh? Listen, I was thinking maybe we could grab a drink sometime. Talk about the future, big plans and all." I resist the urge to roll my eyes. "Thanks, Austin, but I'm swamped with this new project. Maybe another time." He nods eagerly, his grin widening. "Sure, sure. No rush. We've got all the time in the world, right?" I smile politely, but my thoughts are elsewhere. If only you knew, Austin, I think as I head out. Things are about to get very interesting. I felt a mix of satisfaction and nervousness. The trap was set, but now the stakes were much higher. Between the promotion and the rumors about layoffs, everything felt like it was hanging by a thread. Over the next few days, Austin started acting like he'd already hit the jackpot. Well, in his mind he had. He strutted around the office with a new kind of confidence, whispering to anyone who would listen. "Samantha," Abigail hissed from her desk one afternoon. "What's Austin telling Geraldo over there?" I leaned in, trying to catch what he was saying. His voice carried just enough for me to hear him say, "Just waiting for the funds to clear, then I'm out of here." I couldn't believe my ears. "Unbelievable," I muttered to Abigail. "He's planning vacations while the rest of us are worrying about losing our jobs." Speaking of which, Abigail added, "Have you noticed how empty his desk has been? He's barely been around." That gave me an idea. I quickly typed up an anonymous email to HR detailing Austin's frequent absences. I didn't want to come off as vindictive. It was just time for someone to take notice of his behavior. Later that day, we all gathered for an important presentation to save the Wheeler account, one of our biggest clients. The tension in the room was thick. Austin swaggered in late, looking disheveled and completely unprepared. "All right, Austin, show us what you've got," Amber said, raising an eyebrow. Austin shuffled his notes and started fumbling through his words. Yes, the Wheeler account. So, we're going to increase engagement by..." His voice trailed off as he stared blankly at his papers. The clients exchanged worried glances. I knew I had to step in. "Perhaps we should take a short break," I said smoothly. "I have some additional materials that might interest everyone." As the group left the room, I grabbed Austin's arm. "What the hell, Austin? This is our biggest account. Are you even trying?" He shrugged me off, smirking. "Relax, Samantha. None of this matters anymore. I've got bigger fish to fry." I was fuming, but there was no time to argue. When we reconvened, I took charge of the presentation. I gave it everything I had: clear slides, strong data, and a compelling vision for the account's future. By the end, the clients were nodding enthusiastically, and Amber's expression softened into approval. "Excellent work, Samantha," she said. Then she turned to Austin. "Austin, a word in my office, please." As they left, Geraldo approached me, looking embarrassed. "Hey, Samantha, this is kind of awkward, but could I borrow $1,800? Austin promised to pay me back double once his big windfall comes through." I stared at him, speechless for a moment. Austin's lies were spreading fast, but now the truth was unraveling even faster. This was far from over. I stared at Geraldo, completely stunned. "Wait, how much did you give him?" He shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my eyes. "About $2,000, he muttered. "But it's fine." He showed me the ticket and everything. My heart sank. This had gone way too far. I tried to stay calm, but inside I was boiling. Austin's lies were dragging everyone down with him. Later, as I was organizing files for the Wheeler account, I noticed something strange. The strategies and ideas in the files were mine. every single one of them. But they'd all been signed off by Austin. What a sneaky little thief, I muttered under my breath. I dug deeper, finding email after email where he'd taken credit for my work. This wasn't just about snacks or a fake lottery ticket anymore. Austin had been stealing my ideas all along. Furious, I started copying everything into a separate folder. As I was finishing up, Austin burst into the office, looking panicked. "Samantha, I need to borrow some cash. It's an emergency." I crossed my arms and gave him a hard look. "What kind of emergency, Austin?" He glanced around, then leaned in, whispering like he was sharing some big secret. "Look, I can't say too much, but let's just say I'm about to come into a lot of money. I just need a little to tide me over. I'll pay you back triple, I swear." I shook my head, disgusted. "Sorry, Austin, I'm not a bank, and I don't hand out loans." His face twisted in frustration as he stormed off, muttering something under his breath. I turned back to my computer, my resolve hardening. Enough is enough. Austin's lies, his theft, and his freeloading end now. I started gathering everything. The emails where he stole my ideas, the records of his absences, and even testimonies from coworkers who loaned him money. Piece by piece, I built a solid case. Austin's house of cards was about to collapse, and I was going to be the one to push it over. The next day, the office buzzed with chatter as Austin walked in, like he owned the place. He was wearing a suit that probably cost more than my rent. He clapped his hands together and smirked. "Gather round, peasants," he announced loudly. "Your golden boy is moving on to greener pastures." I exchanged a baffled look with Abigail, who mouthed, "What the hell?" Austin grinned like a Cheshire cat, basking in everyone's attention. "That's right, folks. I've hit the jackpot. No more late nights, no more deadlines, no more Amber breathing down my neck. I'm leaving this stump behind." Amber emerged from her office, her face thunderous. "Austin, what's the meaning of this?" she demanded. He laughed obnoxiously, spreading his arms wide. "Oh, Amber, sweet, simple Amber. I don't have to explain myself to you anymore. I'm rich, baby." I bit my lip to hide my smirk. Little did Austin know, his reign was about to come crashing down, and he was standing on the edge of the cliff. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Austin's arrogance had gone too far. It was time to put an end to this once and for all. "Actually, Austin," I said, stepping forward, my voice steady but firm, "I think you do need to explain yourself." The room fell silent as I pulled out a folder and handed it to Amber. "This contains evidence of Austin's theft of intellectual property, fraudulent reports, and population of company resources," I said clearly. Austin's smug grin vanished, replaced by panic. "What? That's ridiculous. You're just jealous of my success." "Success?" I scoffed, holding up a printout of the fake lottery ticket. "You mean this? Hate to break it to you, Austin, but your so-called jackpot is as fake as your work ethic." The office erupted into chaos. Geraldo, red-faced with fury, lunged at Austin, shouting about the money he was owed. Others chimed in, demanding explanations for their own grievances. It was a storm of voices and accusations. "Security." Amber yelled, her voice cutting through the noise. "Escort Mr. Swift out of the building." Austin struggled as security guards appeared, still protesting his innocence. "This is a setup. You'll regret this," he shouted as they dragged him out. His words fell on deaf ears. "Samantha, my office now," Amber said firmly, turning to me. My heart raced as I followed her, unsure of what was about to happen. Amber sat down at her desk, her face unreadable. "Sit," she said, gesturing to the chair opposite her. "Explain everything." I took a deep breath and recounted the entire story, from the stolen snacks to the fake lottery ticket and Austin's escalating behavior. As I spoke, Amber listened intently, her expression shifting from disbelief to anger, and then to something I can only describe as admiration. "Well, Samantha," she said at last, her tone measured, "I must say I'm impressed. Not with your methods, mind you, but with your initiative and dedication to this company." I braced myself, expecting a reprimand. But Amber continued, a small smile playing on her lips. "It's exactly why I'm offering you Austin's position, effective immediately." I stared at her, stunned. "Really? I mean, thank you." Amber smiled. "I won't let you down." Over the next few weeks, the office underwent a transformation. I implemented new policies focused on transparency, teamwork, and accountability. Slowly but surely, morale improved, and the team thrived. We landed 3 major new accounts, and the energy in the office was the best it had been in years. As for Austin, his downfall was nothing short of spectacular. News trickled in that he tried to claim his lottery winnings, only to be laughed out of the lottery office when they revealed his ticket was fake. He vanished after that, leaving behind a legacy of embarrassment. Life in the office wasn't perfect, but it was better than it had ever been. As I settled into my new role, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Justice was served, and the future looked brighter than ever. 2 months later, I found myself at my sister's wedding, standing at the center of the room with a glass in hand, ready to give my maid of honor speech. The air buzzed with joy and excitement as everyone settled in to listen. I took a deep breath and began. "Life's funny," I said with a smile. "Sometimes the path to success isn't straight. It's full of twists, turns, and even a few people who try to take advantage of you." The crowd chuckled, and I glanced at Abigail, sitting near the back. She gave me an enthusiastic thumbs up, and I couldn't help but grin. "But if there's one thing I've learned," I continued, "it's this. Integrity and perseverance always win in the end. So here's to the bride and groom, and to facing life's challenges head-on." As I lifted my glass, there was a burst of applause, and the bride and groom grinned broadly. It was the ideal moment, full of laughing, love, and fresh starts. However, my phone buzzed as soon as I sat down. I looked at the screen curiously. A news alert with the headline, "Former marketing executive arrested for fraud," was displayed. I was unable to control the tiny smile that was beginning to appear on my face. Karma, I reasoned. Austin had his just desserts at last. It seemed that Austin had ruined relationships everywhere after his abrupt departure from the office. His deception ultimately caught up with him after he had defrauded so many people. The law had finally taken notice of the mounting pile of angry creditors, deceived coworkers, and broken promises. Austin was now more than simply a disgraced ex-coworker. He was in danger of dire repercussions. It was like the last part of a crazy tale. In Austin's case, justice had been served, and it wasn't just a chili dish. It was a full-course dinner. I nearly burst out laughing at the idea of him attempting to defend himself in court. However, as I sat there, a question suddenly came to me. Would I have changed anything if I could go back in time and relive those moments? Would I have let Austin dig his own grave like I did, or would I have revealed his deceit right away? Was my strategy appropriate, or did I err on the side of morality? I made the decision to pose the query to my audience. What would you have done in my shoes? I responded, like me, would you have allowed Austin to expose his own falsehoods, or would you have addressed him straight away? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Your thoughts on this office confrontation would be greatly appreciated. And if you enjoyed this wild tale of workplace drama and justice, Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more juicy stories. I wrote as a final message before leaving. You won't want to miss what comes next, I promise. Surrounded by my loved ones, friends, and my newly discovered clarity, I gazed around the room and came to the realization that patience and integrity are rewarded in life. And for others like Austin, well, the rest is handled by karma.